Welcome, everybody, to another Goblin Beat podcast. Tonight, we are going to shake things up a little bit, much like T Swift did back in the day. But she shook it off. We're shaking it up, which is even better. But anyway, instead of Danny, there he is. He came back. Instead of him doing the game running shenanigans, tonight it's going to be Brandon.
Wait.
That's why he's wearing the really big headphones, I'm assuming.
You guys told me I had
it's the Princess Leia of headphones.
You guys told me I had to run it. I bought all the books and I got the table ready and everything.
We thought you knew that was a joke.
No.
Did you keep your receipts?
No. What? No.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll come in handy later.
They'll look nice on your bookshelf.
Yeah.
There you go. Bookshelf.
So, as always, I'm Matt, and tonight I will be starting my new adventure with my character, Branch Blueshade, who is a Wood Elf Cleric, level 1, background of occult acolyte, sorry. And then, Danny, I'm not sure which one you're playing. I'm guessing probably Inkill Iron Fist?
Oh, I am Soros Humbleburton.
Oh, okay. I'm Soros Humbleburton, an evil-looking halfling.
I'm a happy halfling.
Yeah, right. We tried that.
A bard and I'm a great guy.
All right, so that means John must be playing...
Ankle Iron Fist.
Ankle?
Yeah, one of those. I decided.
Ankle grip with fist? What?
So, I don't know. Just roll with it, you know.
He's a dwarf.
Yeah, I'm a dwarf fighter. I decided I was going to roll a completely random character, and I rolled everything about the character, and it came up a mountain dwarf fighter.
Who apparently likes to smoke a pipe, drink, and cut things with his axe.
Very stereotypical.
Pretty much John, just about 3 feet shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, with his beard braided, though.
Yeah.
I wish my beard were long enough to braid. That would be awesome.
I tried to do that, but then my wife made me trim it. So.
Well, it's because it looked like pubes on your face.
You want to talk, Ginger.
I'm trying to braid mine, but it's been growing for 6 months now, and this is all I got.
It's magnificent.
My wife pointed out to me one time that my beard is, in fact, pubes on my face. Because technically they are. They're pubic hair. They don't come in until puberty.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I feel gross now. All right.
Yeah, I'll never be able to look at John's face the same way ever again.
Well, you both have a nice full pubis on your face.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so we're going to be playing the Sunless Citadel, which Danny bought, and I guess I'm assuming going to be given to Brandon now that he doesn't need it anymore. So he can run the campaign.
I'm gonna hand it to you through the screen.
There you go.
There you go. Now you can show it to everybody.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
I receive.
And so, yeah, Brandon's got on his Darth Vader headset. Or Kylo Ren. I don't know. It all depends.
It feels like the throne, not the throne, but the crown of power.
Do you have on your high-waisted pants tonight for your topless scene?
Actually, I'm not wearing pants tonight, nor underwear, so I'm just glad that Google Hangouts only takes the upper torso picture right now.
Well, I mean, it all depends on how you aim it.
Hey-o.
hey, the audience is not paying for the rest of it, so it's not for free.
That's true. You guys
are on Patreon if you want to see the full Brandon.
Patreon.
That's my new Twitter title, The Full Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
Full Brandon tonight. It was intense.
All right. So, Sunless Citadel. A dwarf, a halfling, and a wood elf walk into a bar.
All right, Brandon, immerse us. I'm going to be...
All right, gentlemen. Again, self-disclosure to all the viewing audience. This is not my first time DMing, but this is my first time DMing through Roll20. So there may be a few hangups here and there just because of the interface, but otherwise, we'll be able to get things moving. Our adventurers are starting tonight in the town of Oakhurst. I'm going to now let everyone see essentially what the town looks like.
Does one of us need to share our screen, I guess?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
I can share it.
It's not that big of a place. It's basically kind of like a stop along the way type town.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
No.
I don't think you guys are trying hard enough.
You got to drag the little player ribbon over to the map you want us to see.
Then we'll be magically whisked away.
Uh-oh.
Looks like Matt's having to reload his map.
Yeah, I did the two-finger swipe to the right.
You have 589 unread emails.
Yeah, that's my personal account.
It's making me twitchy just looking at it.
But it's my personal.
My personal account has 5 unread, and that's because I haven't looked at it.
Well, I mean, it's mostly like these social things.
Oh gosh, delete all those
promotions.
Delete those. Just click the select checkbox up there and check them all. And delete them all. Myself.
All right. So how are you saying that I'm supposed to be able to show this? Because I got it on my screen.
Up at the top, you drag the little red player ribbon over to the map that you want us to be on.
You have to lower the section that lets you click between maps. There it was. Oakhurst. I see it.
There you go. See, it was your guys' fault.
The Old Boar Inn.
There's a constable.
Healer, Old Road, Blacksmith.
Why
so
healer?
You guys can...
Who needs one of those? Healer, who needs one of those?
You guys happen to have a cleric with you, so yeah. So can each of you guys kind of give a brief about why you might be in the town of Oakhurst and where you might be?
Danny wants to go first.
I'll go first because it's obvious for my character. I'm a bard, so I'm there. One, to share the tales that I've already gathered, in my vast experience at level 1, and 2, to pick up new stories. Maybe go on adventures to help me write some more songs. So I would probably be, if there's an inn or some type of the Old Boar Inn, I'd probably be going towards the Old Boar Inn.
Okay. At the Old Boar Inn, basically, it's run by a male human named Garon.
All right, I'll go up to Garon and ask him if one of my background things here says that I can normally get work playing music in local inns and stuff, and they'll give me free room to play if I play every night. I'll try to go up to him and see if I can get a job doing that for the night.
Okay. But what time of day right now? Is this earlier in the day or in the evening for you?
Probably show up early in the day because I don't like to travel when it's dark because I need people to step on me in the dark.
They basically ask, you catch him in the midday before he ends up getting people in there for the night, and ask you to give him a quick preview of what you're capable of before he decides on letting you play or not.
All right, I'll whip out my lute and play him a song about a halfling maiden I knew.
Okay.
On a summer.
It must be a really tiny lute.
Half my sized.
Low loot.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, just do a roll.
Like a loot check. Not that great.
Let's see. He's kind of like nodding his head back and forth. He's listening. A few moments you end up kind of going off key, but for the most part, he's like, I think you'll do well enough. I don't have anybody scheduled for the night, so you're welcome to play.
Okay, I try to explain to him that that's basically the worst song I know because I rolled a 2.
Well, let's hope the rest sounds a lot better.
Oh, I promise it might.
Okay. So he's got a gig for the first night.
Yeah,
all right.
I blame it on my loot. I got to tune it. I'm gonna go tune it in the corner and get ready for the next. When people show up.
Okay, so it's still midday, gentlemen. Matt and John, what are you? What's your story here?
I was sent by my people out into the world of the smelly humans to try to figure out what's going on in my my homeland. That I'm from, there's a blight spreading that none of our elven magic has been able to. I figure it must be caused by the commands. So they test me with finding a cure for the blight.
Okay.
And
so I guess I'm probably just heading to the inn to slake my thirst and try some of this exotic human food.
Okay. Well, you walk into the city of Oakhurst, very small. In our common terms, we consider it a one-light town that doesn't have a light. And you end up finding the Old Boar Inn, which seems to be the only respectable establishment that could be called an inn. And inside,
look at this massive human civilization.
Once inside, you find that it's very modest. There's a bar and there's some regular seating area with tables, and one person at the bar and one bartender behind the bar cleaning. And looks what you see a small figure up close to what your best guess is a stage area, fiddling with something.
Hopefully, his loot.
Yeah, they call it that.
Yeah. All right, tripod. So anyway, I guess I go up to the bar and I'll have your finest elven wine, sir.
The gentleman there stops what he's doing and gives you a half look. Rests on you for a moment.
I'm sorry, am I not speaking comprehensible common human? I studied it before I left the woods.
No, you speak well enough. Just don't see much of your kind here. What is it you say you wanted?
Your finest elven wine, sir.
Elven wine. Wait a moment. I'll send the boy downstairs to find some. He yells into a corner for some name that sounds more guttural than actual real name. And go get that silver bottle downstairs. Bring it up quick. Kid runs downstairs. After a few moments, stumbles back up.
I'm playing songs in the background.
I have no idea how much money I have. Somebody didn't put any money on my sheet.
Oh my gosh.
I was hoping you would be completely dependent on me. I have 15 gold.
So do I.
I do too, then. Ha!
Ah, curses.
The guy grabs the bottle from the boy and sends it back into the kitchen. Starts dusting off the bottle.
Glass, good barkeep.
What'd you say?
How much for a glass, good barkeep?
That'll be 5 silver.
Seems reasonable to me.
After he's done cleaning off the bottle, he uncorks it, pulls out a glass from underneath the bar, puts it in front of you, and actually pours it quite well for what you thought was just a common barkeep. So
I take it, pick it up, eye it, swirl it around, stick my whole face down the glass, smell. Take a swig. Just small.
good smell to you.
I come up and jump up on the bar stool and says, "Some pig swill, barkeep." And put down a copper piece.
He kind of gives you a half-corked look, reaches under the bar, grabs a mug, fills up something from a barrel behind him, slaps it in front of you, and nods his head back toward the stage area.
Wow, that is the smallest human that I've ever heard of. Or seen, because I've only seen two now.
I'm a halfling. We're half the size of a human, and twice the fun.
Yes, I can tell if you're kind.
He's fun-sized.
I'm glad I ran into you. I bet you'd have some great elf songs I could learn.
I do have some, but you may not be able to pronounce them. A lot of them are in the language of the birds, or the crickets, or the cicadas at night, or the stream bubbling through the rocks, or the trees swaying in the wind.
Well, if you hum a few bars, I can fake it.
Not like that.
Okay, my lute and try to play that. Let's see. 24. I crushed it. You're super impressed.
Wow. You sound just like the trees and insects and birds of my homeland.
All at once.
You are very impressive, half-human.
Hey, I'm a virtual symphony, baby.
I don't know what that means, but I'll look it up in my book tonight.
You know what a symphony is?
Hold on. I'm taking a note. Write it down. I take a little flip pad out and scratch it down with a little piece of coal.
Okay, well, I also took out a book and start writing down notes about how to play a song.
Interesting. Perhaps you can help me, halfling.
Probably.
I am from the Great Wood. We have a terrible blight that is tearing through our homeland. None of our elven magic can assail it. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Yeah.
Do you know how to stop it?
Yeah. Normally, you can get rid of it just by going down to the river with some lye soap and washing off really good.
I don't believe that we could possibly take off our trees down to the river and wash them with soap.
Oh, no. That only works on butts and underarms.
Oh, yes, no. This is the forest itself that is dying.
No, I mean, you could try it. I would try it.
I will keep that in mind. I will sit here and enjoy my wine and your music.
All right. Well, here it goes.
Get on the door.
All right. So we now have Matt inside the bar. What about you, John?
Well, Ankle is he's looking for something to drink and a game of chance to play, and if anybody's willing to pay for his shield, he's willing to wield it for him. So,
all right. Where are you heading first?
When I roll into town, one of the first things I'm going to do is stop by the whatever looks like an official office or whatever, see if there are any town rules posted.
All right. Looks like, according to your initial assessment, you have a village hall, a shrine, a jail, a general store, a blacksmith, and an inn.
All right. I'm going to stop by the town hall looking place.
Okay.
and poke my head inside.
Right now, it looks pretty empty. Not much activity going on. You have one or two people who show up running back and forth. Looks like a few scrolls in hand. Some muttering under their breath. Not a whole lot of activity.
Okay.
What specifically you're looking for again?
I wanted to know if there's any special rules or laws that's very particular about this place.
Doesn't see a whole lot listed. Looks like there's a few rules that have been posted regarding some warnings on the outskirts concerning some type of mysterious animal or beast that comes upon people who camp out in the road within about 5 miles of the village itself.
Okay.
There's been a couple fatal encounters, but mostly just harassed.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't appear like anybody's too concerned about visitors showing up or telling them where they need to go and what they need to do.
Not so much. It just looks like a town that primarily benefits from travelers passing through. So it's a one-stop place.
All right. Well, then I'm going to head towards the inn.
Okay. Come up to the inn. It's one of the larger buildings in town and somewhat good repair. Not a whole lot's going outside other than a swinging sign that has a crudely drawn boar on it and says the Old Boar Inn.
All right. I look around. There's no like job board or anything posted.
Nothing right now. It's pretty quiet this afternoon.
All right. Well, then I just kind of walk on into the inn. Just kind of throw the door open, walk in like I own the place.
All right. Swing the door open. Ends up making a little bit of a louder crack than you expected. But with the saunter you're trying to go in with, it doesn't throw you off too much. Once you walk in, you see a moderately sized room, about 75 square feet. Bar, a little bit area behind the bar where the bartender is. Looks like he's pouring a glass of some type of drink to a slender fellow. And another person at the bar with a large mug just sipping at it, staring off into space. And then a smallish figure darting from the bar back over to an area that is somewhat cleared of tables with a lute standing over there.
All right. I want to make my way over to the bar. I signal to the barkeep.
He walks over to you, gives you a once over. How strong do you want it?
I'd like an ale, please, dwarven, if you have it.
That'll be 3 silver.
Ah, better be good for 3 silver.
It's the best you'll find in this area.
All right.
He goes over to a black-looking barrel. It's already been tapped. Fills a moderately sized mug full. Walks over, slaps it in front of you. Doesn't take his hand off of it.
All right. I take out a gold piece and I set it down. And I want the change.
Takes his hand off, grabs the gold piece, walks over to a corner, starts fiddling with something, comes back with your change and drops it on the counter.
All right. And then I'm going to ask the barkeep, so do you have any regular games of chance around here?
Nothing regular. But if you want to start something of your own, that's fine. But if you cause any trouble, you and whoever's involved will be kicked out.
Ah, no trouble. Unless a fool can't be parted from his money.
Well, that responsibility is on you, friend.
I can handle myself.
All right. So
I'm going to make my way over to a table towards the middle of the room.
Okay. So unless anybody has any, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm sitting there with. I've got my my flagon of ale, but I'm also going to pull out a small leather cup with some dice in it and just kind of absentmindedly roll the dice, trying to see if I'm catching anybody's attention.
That is the hairiest human I believe I have ever seen.
I'm no human, friend.
Whoa, you must be one of the mountain folk.
Indeed, the best folk.
I have heard tale of your stamina and strength and fearlessness in battle, as well as your ability to consume great quantities of alcohol.
You heard of my stamina. Your mother's been talking about me again, huh?
I don't recall ever hearing things from my mother from about dwarves. Typically, I studied those things in books.
Well, I wouldn't waste my time with that.
I come over and say, hey, do you think the bartender's racist against halflings?
Well, I mean, I am.
What was that word that you used?
Halflings.
No, the other word.
The elven wine, the dwarven ale, and he gave me pig swill.
You asked for pig swill.
Yeah, but still.
I asked for elven wine.
Shouldn't he have given me elven wine too or something?
You didn't ask for elven wine.
If you ask for pig swill, well, the customer's always right.
I'm confused.
Maybe he's racist against you guys because he gave you drinks with your race name in them. I'm just saying.
I specifically asked for it. So did him. So did he.
I don't know. The guy seems shifty. Hey, you got any dwarven songs you want to teach me?
Maybe after I've had a few more drinks, my tongue might be loosened. You wouldn't want to buy me one, would you?
I don't know if you sing me a line of one of the songs you'll teach me. We'll see.
I thought that a dwarven songs were usually only sang when blood was being spilled.
No, they sing all kinds of songs. They sing songs when they're like eating, or songs about cleaning dishes, songs about making weapons or equipment, right?
Whenever we feel like it. We're dwarves. We do what we want.
Plus, there's always some blood being spilt somewhere.
Indeed.
Interesting. I'm learning a lot.
Well, friend, if you're willing to buy a round, I can sing you a little ditty.
All right.
A little ditty from my daddy.
He will likely buy you a round of pig swill.
Actually, it sounds half decent.
Okay. Yeah, come back over with a mug of pig swill for everybody.
I'm not sure that I'm interested in this.
Hey, after you've had 2 elven wines, everything else tastes the same. Trust me.
I've only had 1 elven wine.
It's the same difference. Here, drink this.
That's 1 less than 2.
You elves have funny math.
Perhaps.
I take a sniff of the pig swill, and then I try to do that thing where it looks like you're eating something, but you're just like pouring it down like behind your face.
Right. All right. I'm gonna try to sing your song back to you. They're gonna 13.
Not bad for a shortling. I mean, halfling.
So, John, you're trying to pass off this drinking thing by pouring it behind you?
Yes.
Give me a performance roll.
All right. Performance or sleight of hand?
Oh, sleight of hand. Yeah.
I'll let you do sleight of hand.
Nice.
What? I mean,
Holy
let's say, what is it? Oh, holy crap.
It is. Looks like
Nice.
he's actually doing it,
Hey,
and he's doing it unfazed.
hey, dwarf friend. I think that pig's went straight through you because there's a puddle right underneath you on the floor now. I forgot to warn you about that before you drank it.
Well, it's certainly a unique drink. Not as good as my dwarven ale, though.
Yeah.
Why do they call this pig swoop?
It's basically just whatever's left over in barrels. The guy dumps it all together, and then I think he also pees in it. I don't know.
He doesn't seem to like the type of person to piss in his ale. He actually did a pretty good job of pouring this glass of wine. Better than I
It
expected.
tastes pretty good, all things considered.
Do either of you gentlemen engage in games of chance?
Like hopscotch?
Like dice?
Sure.
I can't say that I ever have.
Would you care to engage in a little friendly wager?
I could spare a few silver, I suppose.
All right.
Oh, I better start playing again. My name's Soros, by the way.
Hello, Soros.
Well met, Soros.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get your name, fine fairy sir.
I am Einkel.
Well met. I am Branch.
Nice to meet you, Branch.
Is Branch your real name, or is that the name you give humans and half humans and short folk? Because we can't pronounce
my
the real
name in
name.
common.
Okay.
My name translates to Branch.
That's what I thought. My name translates to Soros. Then I walk off.
He's very strange. I think. I'm not sure. I haven't met his kind before, but he seems strange. Anyway.
Can I get each of you to do a perception check?
Perception. Show off.
All right. John, 20, Danny, 10. Matt?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought you were just telling John. Oh.
Yeah, each of you, John, please do a perception check.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine.
Basically, John, as you are having a discussion with these other two, you're seeing a woman come in and get into a very quick yet heated discussion with the barkeep, and he ends up shooing her off shortly after it starts.
Where does she go?
She ends up leaving in a huff back out the door.
All right. I'm going to make my way over to the barkeep and ask for a refill. And then while he's refilling the flagon, I'll just be like, so what was all that about?
Just be my sister-in-law. She keeps wanting to post something here in the tavern about some missing folk of hers. And I don't allow people to leave things here and there to advertise to people. And so she keeps coming back trying to convince me of it, and I tell her no.
Should I go take down my sign out front that I put up about searching for help with my blight problem?
He gives you a dirty look.
I didn't know that was an issue.
It's okay that I put out the sandwich board saying performing live tonight, Soros Himbleburton, right?
Oh yeah, because that's what I put my sign on.
I'll tell you one thing: if you both remove them quickly, I'll forget this conversation happened.
If it removes his, it'll remove mine. So.
All right, I'll get my sandwich board.
I just kind of shake my head at the barkeep and I mutter under my breath, but just loud enough for him to hear about how humans have no respect for kin.
He looks back over at you. He's like, if you plan to say something, say it to my face.
I said humans have no respect for kin and they need to clean out their ears.
Some of us do have respect for kin. But the thing is, some kin plan to take advantage when they have no place to.
That's not my Uncle John. He's been staying the night for just the weekend for 6 years at my parents' place.
Hey, by the way, that board was not made out of sandwich at all.
I don't think you understand the common human language.
Well, I'm just saying the literal translation makes no sense.
That sandwich isn't it closes in like a sandwich. You're not using it.
Oh, it's a metaphor?
I don't think so. It's just a sandwich board. I take it and set it against the wall.
Well, he said it closes like a sandwich. I guess it's a simile.
So while they're arguing about sandwiches,
I've never made a four, but I do like to smile. I don't know.
I'm going to make my way outside, see if I can see the woman.
There is a outside.
Yeah.
As you make your way out, you're kind of having to dodge folks coming in slowly. And once you're outside, within about 10 feet of the porch, you have a woman rustling through what seems to be some type of bag, digging out small scraps of parchment and looking over it and then stuffing them back in. She seems pretty frantic with what she's doing.
All right. I call out to her and I say, "Hello, ma'am. I noticed you inside there, and you appeared to be disturbed. Is there anything you need help with?"
At first, she doesn't seem to recognize you speaking to her, and then she ends up glancing up at you and gives you a suspicious look.
I mean nothing by it. It's just that I'm a sellsword, or some might say a sell axe, and I offer my services to people in need.
She straightens back up, stops looking into her purse or her bag. So it's not always that kind to listen to other people's conversations.
Oh, I wasn't listening to your conversation. I just saw that you looked agitated. I asked the barkeep what was wrong.
You better believe I'm agitated. That son of a bitch, Garon, doesn't want to believe in his sister-in-law on what she believes is right and what needs to be done.
Oh, what needs to be done?
His kin disappeared a week past. He doesn't care to do anything about it.
Well, it depends on how much he likes the kin. I've got a few I wish would disappear.
It doesn't matter. Kin is kin. Blood is blood.
That is true. So what happened to them? Or what do you believe happened to them?
The two of them, Sharwin and Taljan, went with a group. Decided they want to look into the old citadel to see what treasures they could find. Everyone told them that it was not a worthy thing to do, but they didn't want to hear of it. They went with another couple fellas. We haven't seen them since.
Ah, do people often go to the old citadel?
No, most people have better sense than that. But they just had these fantasies in their mind about treasures they might be able to find. and also of what the goblins have been selling each year.
And what have they been selling each year?
You haven't heard of it?
No, I'm new to the area.
Seems obvious then. They sell a fruit twice a year, one in the winter and one in the summer.
Fruit edible?
If you want to risk your chances at it, yes, maybe. One piece of fruit during the summer. It's beautiful. It's something anybody would want to take a bite out of, but in the winter, it's white and pale. Looks like a deathly thing.
And do people around here actually traffic with goblins?
No, people would rather not to, but most folks know it's worth. They usually, if they go outside the city, outside the town that is, over to the city, they get 5, 6, sometimes 10 times what they pay for it.
Wow. Sounds quite lucrative. And these goblins get it from the Citadel?
We don't know where they get it from, but they're close to the Citadel, at least where they live, that is.
I see. So if I were to go looking for your kin, is there any kind of reward involved?
Yes, maybe. Miant has something out set for their return, or at least proof of what happened to them.
I might be interested in taking this on.
Well, if you want more information than that, you need to speak to her directly. I'm just trying to send out the message so people might come and at least try to do something about it.
And what is your aunt's name, and where might she be found?
Time out. I need to get the actual correct name.
So back in the bar, I'm playing Sweet Home Half-Alabama, which is my
Half-Alabama?
I'm trying to convince the elf to sing along with me.
I'm sorry, I do not know the words. Can I help you?
We could sing Elfia on My Mind if you want to.
That's a high elf song.
Oh, well, I only know the naughty version anyway.
I was not aware that such a version existed.
For someone with the name Branch, that should be appealing.
Oh, well, let me teach it to you.
I'm not sure what that means.
I'll start singing it until the barkeep shouts me down.
Got a couple minutes before that occurs.
It talks a lot about swollen elven fruit and things like that.
This song is very inappropriate.
But it's about high elves. You like it, right?
No, I was talking about high elves as in like royal elves, not elves that are intoxicated.
Oh. No. I'm going to keep singing it.
After a couple of minutes, you end up getting some silverware thrown your direction, Danny. And he barks back at you and says, you better return to something suitable.
Okay, thanks for the tips. I start showing
You're out tonight. You pick it up, and it's just wooden dinnerware, but
they're throwing things that you can consume. That must mean they like you.
That's the way I've always found it.
All right.
The chorus,
go ahead.
I was going to say I'll teach the off the chorus some other time when we're not getting yelled at.
Okay. So we'll back over to John real quick. And she tells you that if you're truly interested, you can speak to Carolyn Hookrule. She's my aunt. She lives up on the manor, high up above the what's the name of it? The village hall. You can't miss it.
All right, I'll inquire with her then. So then I want to make my way back inside.
As it is getting late, I'm going to reserve a room here. Good barkeep. How much is a room here?
Again, he kind of gives you a quick look. How big a room you need?
Only a room big enough for me to sit in.
Room, small bed. That'll cost you 2 silver.
Very well. Here you are, sir.
Takes it. Fumbles behind the counter. Brings out a smallish iron key. Drops it in front of you.
Ah,
I'll expect you to be out by noon tomorrow.
very well. How does this work?
You take the key, go upstairs when you're ready, open the door. Once you're inside, it's up to you if you wish to lock it, but then you can go to bed.
So the key opens the door?
Yes.
I'll show you how it works. You're not going to use the bed anyway, right?
No, I will meditate on the floor.
I'll show you how it works.
Oh.
There's no discounts for not using the bed.
Okay. What was that word again?
Bed?
No. The two syllable word.
Using?
Discount?
Yeah.
Viscount?
Yeah. It's when you speak poorly to nobility. It's account. You get it.
Wow.
It stands for
Why would there be a discount for not using the bed?
It's slang. It's slang. It's human slang. It means like you're not gonna get a better deal.
Ah, yes. Okay. Well, I paid anyway. All right, Halfling, show me how this key works.
All right. I'll go unlock the door for him and then come back down to play some more.
Excellent.
All right.
I'll lock that.
I'm not using the bed tonight. If you'd like to use it, feel free to do so.
Sure. Well, I've got my own room.
It's a very open-ended invitation.
I was simply trying to save him money.
All right, I'll go back down and start playing some more.
I prefer elves.
All right. So when I make my way back in, I go over to the barkeep and I said, well, I ran her off for you. That's got to be worth a free drink or so, right?
Just remember that's my kin. Whether I like her or not doesn't give you an excuse to run her off.
Well, I thought she was hassling you.
Hassling me, but it's no business of yours. Your price stays the same.
Well, what about a quick game of dice for a drink?
I'll play a game of
back
dice
over those tables.
What was that?
I said I'll play a game of dice with you for a drink.
All right. I'll play with the short one then.
You buy the drink, and I'll name the game.
No, it's whoever loses the game buys the drink.
No, it's whoever wants to play buys the drink.
Halflings are a strange people.
Room's starting to fill up pretty good.
I'll go play.
You got about a 75% capacity at this point.
Yeah.
It's starting to get to mid-evening.
I guess I should probably go start playing for reals. I'll go do that.
All right, I'll make my way back over to the table and get out my dice cup again and just sit there kind of fiddling with them, seeing if anybody seems interested.
Okay. Matt, are you down there, or are you still up in your room scoping it out? And Matt does not seem to be present. Okay. So
he's sleeping. he's sleeping by actually sleeping.
all right. So
He's
John,
really getting into the role play.
so as the halfling starts breaking out his loot, go ahead and Danny, give me a What is your ability check for this performance?
Either performance or a loot check, either one.
Whichever is your highest.
They're the same.
Okay.
16.
All right. John and the absent Matt can hear a pretty well-performed series of songs that are somewhat familiar, but yet you can't truly remember where you learned them from. But just enough that you kind of get caught into the beat with. Well done, though.
All right. I'm over there just kind of banging on the table in time with the music.
Okay.
Seem to be enjoying myself.
And John, as you're rolling your dice, nothing ends up happening about half an hour, 45 minutes into, but about an hour after you've been sitting there listening, someone stumbles up to your table and sits down next to you.
Well met.
Hi.
I'm Einkel.
Kind of gives you a cross look. Ankle.
No, Einkel.
Ankle?
Well, thank you for joining me at my table.
Well met. What game you playing tonight?
I'm a fan of wagering on dice.
Hmm.
Do you know how to play?
Some games I do. You mind if I see those dice?
Sure. And I'm going to, as I hand them to him, I'm going to make sure that I hand him a different set of dice.
Okay, you can just see him that.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead, Danny.
Just send branches back if we want to have
Okay.
them downstairs.
Yeah, suppose Branch is there. John, this guy is not too sauced, but just enough that he doesn't seem to notice the switch that you made. He's kind of throwing the dice on the table and kind of doing a few rounds of it, and kind of gives like a half nod and just kind of pushes them back towards you. It's all right. What game you playing?
Have you ever played Lads and Lasses?
Sounds a little familiar. Give me the rundown, and then we can play it.
All right, so I explained to him these arcane rules. Probably not anything he's ever played before.
Does it sound pretty legit, or are you trying to throw one over him?
I am trying to make it just complicated enough that I can adjust the rules on the fly.
Okay, let's see then.
Rules sound
We're
very,
gonna do that.
Deception.
What's that, Matt?
What's that?
What'd you say,
rules
Matt?
sound very opaque.
I still didn't hear Matt.
So these rules sound very opaque.
Are you back sitting next to the dwarf?
No, I'm next to the halfling. Watching the game, I guess.
Okay, then the dwarf and the human who walked up, I guess, don't hear you. All right, John. So go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
Okay. Let's see here. Persuasion. Yes.
The guy you're speaking to starts furrowing his brow. He's listening to you talk and says, you better think twice about throwing one over me. If you don't play this game, you better play it straight.
Okay. I was just you play, it's part of the strategy. You have to get every advantage you can get. So, are you willing to wager?
You better set those rules straight. Then we
All
can
right.
talk.
So I make sure and explain it a little more clearly this time.
You selling it straight to him this time, or are you still trying to persuade him?
No. I'm giving it to him straight this time.
Okay. At this point, he's agreeable.
All right. Well, a nice glass of dwarven ale set me back 3 silver pieces. Does that sound like a fair wager to you?
It's fine enough for me.
All right. I'll place my 3 silver pieces on the table and motion for him to do the same.
He does likewise.
All right. And then I don't know how you want to handle that. Do you want it to be like a performance check or
Are you trying to do some type of sleight of hand to him, or are you actually doing it right?
I'm going to try to do a little sleight of hand. When I roll the dice, I want to put a special little spin on it.
Okay, so you're going to do sleight of hand? Go ahead and
Yep.
roll it.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't work out for you. He eagerly reaches across and grabs your 3 silver and slides it back over to his side. You
All
willing
right.
to try again there?
Sure. All right. So I pull out another 3 silver, set it up on the table.
Okay. Does the same.
All right. All right.
You doing it straight this time or sleight of hand? Sleight of hand.
All right.
Now this time he is he's not so much excited about winning as in perturbed over catching you twisting your wrist right there when you threw the dice. He reaches across and grabs the extra 3 silver and pushes you back.
Hey, keep your hands to yourself, friend.
Keep my hands to myself. You better keep your tricks to yourself.
If I were playing tricks, would I have lost twice in a row?
Maybe you're just poor at playing your tricks. Grabs the dice and walks away.
Or maybe you're just an ugly mother.
I do not understand. He simply threw the dice. I mean, he twisted his wrist a little bit at the end, but can you not do that?
He was trying to cheat, but failed horribly.
Oh, no, that seems wrong then.
Yeah, if you're going to cheat, you should do it right. I got a song about that.
Not sure that I endorse that opinion.
Maybe.
If you're going cheap, play fair and do it right.
It's embarrassing for everybody if you do it wrong.
All right.
That's the title of my next song.
Do I hear them saying that?
Yeah, we're being extremely loud. All right.
Okay. If you're being obviously loud, then yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm on the stage thing. That's the name of my next song. If you're going to cheat, do it right.
Maybe I could if I didn't have some half man over there caterwauling.
Hey, I take offense. I take offense at that. I'm not a half man. I'm a half ling.
He isn't a caterwaul at all. A caterwaul is a strange creature.
When you're thinking about the Catablepus.
Catalupus, what?
I think I might be thinking about the catawampus.
No, it's the Catablepus.
Pretty sure I'm thinking about the catawampus.
Yeah, it's Catablepus.
If there's anything at the table that I don't care about, I'm going to throw it at them.
About the only thing that's left standing there is your dice and your mug of ale.
Here.
No, I don't want to throw any of that.
Catablepus. There it is. See it?
All right, I'm just going to put the dice away. They're not. Fortune is not favoring me tonight.
There's a catawampus, which is very similar.
Well, maybe so. All right. Here's the tale of the Catablepus. I'm going to sing that instead.
All right. So Matt and John, what are you doing at this point? He's playing another song.
I mean, how late in the day is it?
You're getting to about just a little past mid-evening. Folks are starting to get somewhat into their cups at this point.
I'm listening. Is anybody talking at all about a citadel or anything strange happening around town?
All right. Roll me a perception check. Unless you're going to actually go up to somebody individually and speak to them.
No, I'm trying to overhear at this point.
Okay. If you're just trying to overhear, you are hearing a little bit of conversation about a group that left town with interest in the Citadel, and no one's heard of them since.
All right. Is anybody describing this group at all? Do they seem like they were people that were relatively competent, or is it just, some local yokels?
So far, it sounds like people who at least halfway know what they're doing.
All right.
Unless you want to talk to somebody directly, that's kind of all you understand so far.
Yeah, so I don't know who I overheard, but I'd just kind of make my way over there and just say, yeah, I couldn't help but overhear you talking about this group that disappeared.
You make your way over to the table where about 3 local folks are sitting there talking. And one of them kind of looks over to the other 2 and says, what might your business be then?
Well, I sell my services where that's needed. It appears there's a group missing. Perhaps there'd be a reward for finding them.
It's possible you may be able to find a job then. Seems the matron of the family is curious about locating what happened to a couple of her kin.
And what do you think happened to them?
I say their eyes were bigger than what they could actually provide. Group of them. One of them pretty handy with a sword. Another witch or wizard of some type. And some holy man with a sword went in to take a look at the Citadel themselves.
And who lives in the Citadel?
No one here has ever been there and seen it. All we ever hear is goblins and some type of lower folk seem to be inside and surrounding it.
I see. Well, if 3 ran into trouble, you'd probably need a larger group to go get them out.
That would be the common sense of it.
Has there been any talk of putting together a search party?
No, there's no more here who have any interest in that type of thing. Most of us be trade folk.
I see. Well, I don't want to intrude upon your evening repast.
Well, you're welcome either way.
All right. And just kind of give him a nod and thank him for the information and make my way back over to my table.
He raises his glass to you and nods and continues conversation with the other 2.
I see you have a friend here. Where?
I was just asking them. I'm always on the lookout for some work. It appears there's been a group from town that have disappeared lately, and I'm hoping maybe I might be able to earn some money if I find them.
Oh, so your work is not actually in gambling. That is good because you are terrible at
it.
Fortune is a fickle mistress. I do that more for fun than for anything else.
Yes. I can see how fortune could be quite a fickle mistress. Yes, indeed.
And what about you? Do you ever seek outside employment?
Currently, what I'm seeking is a cure to my people's problem in my homeland. There's a terrible blight that is destroying our forest. A forest that is old beyond reckoning. We have tried all the magics and techniques that we know, and nothing has worked. So 50 of our kind were selected to go out into the world and to seek a solution to the problem.
Well, that's your problem. You tried to use magic.
Well, we tried to use simple techniques,
I told him to use soap.
yeah, we didn't use soap.
Ah, that's wise.
We did use
Soap works, but if a tree is ailing, I find the best solution is a sharp axe to the roots.
we did try culling at one point, but it did not stop the spread of the disease. The nature of this disease defies all logic, which is why we had to eventually resort to magic, but it did not work either. We tried both practical and magical means. We are afraid that if we don't stop it soon, it could destroy our entire homeland. All my people would be without a home.
The goblins around here have some kind of magic tree.
They have a magic tree?
They have magic fruit or something. I don't know. I heard somebody talking about it.
What does this fruit do?
I don't know. It grows in the wintertime and stuff. I don't know.
Who told you this story?
I heard some of the locals talking about it.
Are they still here?
I don't see them. Have you heard anything about the magic fruit, dwarf? Not being the magical fruit.
Just that it comes from the goblins twice a year.
And the more you eat, the more you toot.
Where do these goblins hail from?
Somewhere near the Citadel area.
You say the Citadel is where you may be traveling to, dwarf?
It's possible. If I can find some companions to go with me, it appears the group that went before me was they were at least experienced in some way. So if they ran into trouble, I fear that I would not do well on my own.
Well, I would like to look more into this tale of this magical fruit that these goblins peddle. I'm skilled in healing. I will travel with you if you would have me.
That would be acceptable.
Yeah, I'd be willing to come along if there might be stories in it.
All right, I kind of give the halfling a look up and down, and I'll say, for a half share of the profits, since you're a halfling.
I'll do it for half the profits, sure.
No, a half share. I thought halflings spoke common.
I'll do it for an even share. I'm very good at saying mean words to people. I've actually had someone die before when I did it.
All right, I'm going to take an insight check to see whether or not I think he's full of it.
I could demonstrate, but it's quite painful.
Let me see.
I have the vicious mockery. I have the vicious mockery cantrip. It actually does damage.
At that moment, John, you're pretty sure just the words themselves don't do it, but you seem to feel like there's a little something behind it that he's not showing.
All right. I'll take you along. You're entertaining at least.
All right.
Well, I'm going to try and find the matron first thing in the morning and find out more about this quest. I've heard that she might be willing to help bankroll an expedition.
Sounds good. I'm gonna do my grand finale performance. I'm gonna use my prestidigitation cantrip to help make some some cool special effects while I play the music.
Okay.
Can I get a bonus to my performance or anything for that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. Let's see. Yeah, you get a pretty good applause from the group, and about 3 gold and 5 silver end up getting thrown up to you.
Nice.
Ah, that was very smart, Halfling, to use magic to enhance your performance.
Thanks. I'd say my father taught me, but he didn't.
I don't follow the conversation. Well, that's not unusual with you, I think.
Yeah, I picked up a little magic here, a little magic here.
All right.
Well, I'm going to retire. I'm going to get up early in the morning. I've heard there's a healer in this village that I would like to speak to before we leave. See if they have some insight into my people's problem.
Is that bed of yours still unused?
Indeed.
Might I use it?
Cool. It is free for the night. I will simply meditate on the floor.
I toss what's your guy's name again? Inkle?
Yeah, ankle.
Toss Inkle the key to that room.
Oh, yes. You'll have to use that. I don't know.
All right, so we all go to bed?
Yeah.
That's good.
No funny business, dwarf.
Well, it's not like you're really asleep anyway. You would notice if you didn't.
So whenever the sun comes up, I head out to the healers. I'm assuming probably everybody else is still asleep. Only have to meditate 4 hours.
Okay.
You have to prefer.
To see if it appears that the resident of the healer's hut is awake.
Okay. So you go over to the healer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just a second. I just sliced off part of the end of my thumb with a knife, so I am multitasking at the moment.
Oh gosh.
Gorilla tape.
Yep. Once again. John was present the last time I sliced my hand open and fixed it with tape, so
I usually use super glue.
that works too. All right. So Matt, you go over to the shrine.
Yeah. Knock on the door.
You end up after a few knocks, you end up hearing a smallish voice in the distance, and as it gets closer, and it says, "Hold on, hold on."
Indeed, I shall hold.
I'm coming. And the door opens, and you end up seeing a female gnome in priestly garb.
Well met and good morning.
Good morning to you. My name's Corky, or, well, that's what most folks call me here. Otherwise, you can call me Dim Knuckle.
Corky shall do. Matt, enter. I have a matter of great importance to discuss.
All are welcome here.
Thank you. My name is Branch Blueshade.
Well met, Branch.
I am of the Forest Elves.
I see that.
I have to say, you are the first gnome that I have met.
Well, then I'm glad that I can introduce you to our folk.
Indeed.
What can I help you with today?
Come here on a matter of great seriousness and urgency, Corky.
What might that be then?
My forest, my home, is being destroyed by a blight that can not be remedied by either practical means nor any magic that my folk possess. I, along with 49 other of my kind, were sent out into the world to attempt to find a cure to this great malady. I noticed that you are a healer. My companions and I that I've met just recently are heading out to a citadel with a magical tree soon, but I wanted to speak with you first to see if you might have some knowledge or insight into any sort of thing that might be similar to this blight that my people face.
She just kind of shakes her head, looking down, and kind of does a tisk tisk. I'm so sorry to hear of the blight your people are facing. It's not the first I've heard of this type of thing. Thankfully, we haven't experienced it here, but I have no knowledge of how to fix it.
Others have experienced the same thing? Where?
I've heard of lands far from here where the forests are far and wide, but not here. There's too many mountains where we are.
Were they all elven land, or?
No, it doesn't seem just to be elven. Just wherever the forests are thick and green.
This is most disturbing.
Yes, it is. But you speak of the Citadel.
Yes, that's where my companions and I are going to be heading soon. I hear there's a magical tree there. I thought that it might give me some insight. We really have no guidance. I'm honestly grasping at whatever lead comes my way.
You speak of the fruit that the goblins harvest from the tree.
Indeed, my friend mentioned that the other night, but he did not have many details.
Most folk here don't have many details about it, other than they know that it's magic, and most folks try to use the magic themselves or find some type of fortune in it.
He said they harvest it once in the warm times and once in the cold times.
Yes, during the summer and winter solstice, it provides a fruit. During the summer, it's ripe and lush. In this winter, it's pale and white, a deathly looking thing.
This winter fruit does not sound delectable.
No, it doesn't. I wouldn't touch it if my life depended on it, but yet some people still think it's of value.
It's confusing.
Either way, it does bring a high price each year as people go and bid on the fruit.
Have you seen any evidence of magical properties from the fruit? Have you studied it?
Not personally, but there have been a few folk from the town who have purchased in the past and taken the seeds from the fruit and tried to plant them afterwards. Every time something did sprout, but then it disappeared shortly after.
What benefits have those here derived from this fruit?
The only benefits I've ever heard is the one from the summer, the rush one. It's has some type of restorative property. I haven't gone to examine the benefits myself, but it's a few folk who seem beyond healing of normal means seem to be able to come back from it.
And you had no explanation for their healing?
No.
You were not able to heal them?
No, whoever's been able to receive it either haven't come and look for my services or they were opposed to it. But either way, the fruit seemed to have some type of benefit. I haven't seen the results of the white fruit yet.
Thank you, Corky. Your information has been most helpful. I believe
You're very
I'm
welcome.
on the right course to pursue this fruit. But it seems you know something of this citadel. Do you have a warning to impart?
It's an old thing, swallowed by the earth long ago. They call it the Sunless Citadel because the sun no longer shines on it. All we know is that treasure seekers have tried to go and look at it, see what they can find, and we don't know of anyone who's been able to come back to boast of their gains.
So it is dangerous.
Very. That's not considering that it's surrounded by a goblin camp and also some type of host of kobolds. Moldy creatures.
That is new. I'll impart that information to my friends.
Well,
and I can contribute to you, Corky, for your help.
May Paylor bless you with the information, and hopefully it brings you goodwill.
Perhaps a silver to help support your work.
That is always welcome. Thank you.
All right, I give her a silver.
Yeah.
Thank
You and your friends are always welcome here when you return.
Yes. Nature's blessing upon you.
Thank you.
Head back to the inn and get some breakfast.
All right.
I assume if the dwarf and I are awake, we're eating lots of sausages and washing down with some ale.
Yes, the dwarf is all about the sausage.
I can say this is a sausage fest. It is delicious.
Hello, my friends. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. We thought you skipped town.
You're
Would
kind.
you like to come and join us? We're having a sausage fest.
Yes, yes. Both of your races seem to appear to require a lot of rest.
Yeah, that's true.
I've gone to speak with the healer this morning. Oh,
No, did you-
barkeep, could I get some of your vegetables, I suppose?
Did you catch a disease from visiting a lady last night?
No, I did visit a lady this morning. Her name was Corky. She's an elderly gnome healer.
No, and she gave you the disease.
No, she gave me information.
I don't understand why you had to go to the healer.
Corky is the healer.
Oh, so I don't get it. Anyway, have a sausage. What's
I
that
went to
noise?
speak to Corky about the plague that's invaded my people's homeland and hopes
Oh,
she might give me some information.
okay. I get it.
She was not able to give me a cure or even a lead to a cure, but was able to tell me that my land is not the only one affected by such a blight. But more importantly, and specific to our endeavors, she did give me some information about this citadel. She stated that all that is on there, none have returned. And that it is surrounded by a goblin camp and a camp of kobolds. And that it is buried under the ground.
Sounds like we could get some good stories out of that to me.
Yes. She also indicated that she, as far as the fruit goes, only the summer fruit has known effects, where it has healed those who have consumed it. Some that were beyond her power to heal. She doesn't know the effects of the winter fruit. So I am interested in the restorative properties of this summer fruit and may be able to help my people. So I'm determined to travel there.
That sort of makes sense. Hey, are we going to go talk to that old lady this morning? Dwarf guy?
Yes. Yes, her name is Carolyn.
The matron?
And I guess if you all are ready, we could head that way.
Sure.
All right.
Yes,
So-
let's depart.
So I'm going to lead them to I don't know. I tried to write that down, but I'm not sure I had that spelled right. I wrote down Carolyn Hercule.
Yeah, Carolyn. Hercule.
Heroin.
Okay. So we're going to head towards the place where the woman indicated.
Okay. Basically, you can see on a hill overlooking the manor house and a good amount of the town. It's not too long of a walk, but it's definitely uphill.
Okay.
As you get closer, you end up coming to a gate that you're able to open without too much difficulty.
Okay. So I'll just walk on up to the door and knock.
Okay. You knock and you end up waiting for a little while before you end up hearing some bolts being relieved on the other side. And somewhat of an aged man in servant's clothing looks between a crack in the door. What's your business here?
I've been told I come seeking Carolyn. I've been told that she might be looking for some kinfolk of hers.
Maybe so. You'll wait here. He closes the door and kind of left sitting waiting for a little bit. You folks, what do you guys want to do?
We're gonna try to talk her. Do we need to talk her into something? I'm very good at talking people into things.
Well, see if you can't get her to offer a nice princely reward for finding her kinfolk.
Okay, that seems reasonable. I slick my hair back and make myself look a little bit taller and presentable.
A little less tasseled. Sorry, every time I think of a halfling, I'm thinking about Tasselhoff, so.
I try to make it look like I didn't spend half the night jumping up and down on the bed in my room, because I did.
So after you guys end up waiting for about, what seems like about 45 minutes, the door finally creaks back open. The manservant gives each of you a once over and says, if you wish to enter, any of you carrying any type of weapon will be leaving it with me.
Oh, man.
Very well. Here's my longsword.
He takes it.
Here's my rapier.
Okay. Looks over to the dwarf.
Here's my other sword.
You wouldn't part an old dwarf from his walking stick, would you?
Happily.
I told you to take the wizard's staff.
It's totally a walking stick. It's just kind of pointy on one end.
And sharp. Do you hand it to him?
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Okay. He takes what you guys hand over to him and walks over to a large oaken cabinet, digs out a key from his ring, fiddles with it, opens the cabinet door. Seems to actually very carefully place each item into a slot and then carefully relocks the cabinet.
Do we get a receipt for that?
Kind of gives you a quizzical look.
Usually it's a piece of paper with a number written on it, and the number corresponds to another piece of paper which is attached to the item. So I've read.
Seems you're too fond of the city. Here, you'll just have to trust me.
I trust you.
The city.
Implicitly, good sir. I'll pat him on the back, or as far up on his back as I can reach, which is hopefully above his butt.
He ends up gesturing with his hand to follow him, and he starts leading you down into the house.
I do not understand his aversion to receipts.
He's old-fashioned. He expects you to trust his honor.
They're simple to make. They require simply parchment and ink.
You don't get it. It's fine.
Honor.
Yeah, they have to cut down trees to make that parchment.
So you guys following?
That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
He leads you down the hallway past multiple doors. Looks somewhat ornate, solid wood, well made. And eventually you end up coming to the end of the hallway where there is a set of large double doors.
Ha! Those doors are thick and well made. Probably as you prefer your women, dwarf.
Hey-yo!
He, before opening the door, he puts both of his hands onto the doors and looks back over to you and says, "You'll keep that loose tongue to yourself, and you'll be respectful to the matron." And it opens the door.
Red?
He opens the door and leads you guys in.
All right.
Pardon me, good dwarf, but was I correct in my assessment?
I'm not offended. You spoke the truth.
I thought so. This man is strange. He doesn't like the receipts or the truth.
Yeah, maybe keep your mouth shut. At least until we leave.
So
once he opens the doors, you end up seeing somewhat of a long dinner type hall with a table. It looks at about 25 feet long, and at the end of it, you see a woman, definitely aged, gray hair, and some type of blue formal dress, sitting there, very meticulously eating her dinner meal. And no one else is sitting at the table but her.
This is
All
the
right.
largest
Well-
room I've ever been in.
I look at Soros and kind of motion with my eyes over towards the lady, and I'm like, "You're on."
All right, step forward and bow. My good lady, we have come at the behest of thy kinfolk. We have heard that thou art in distress about having lost your favored friends and family. We hope that we might be able to alleviate your concerns in some way. I do a lot of gesturing and moving around and waving my arms. Because I've
I
heard this.
whisper to the dwarf, he is quite good at bloviating.
The dwarf just kind of gives a quick nod of agreement.
As you guys do that, she continues to very carefully knife and fork the morsel in front of her, and very delicately brings it to her mouth and takes a bite, places the knife and fork back down onto the in front of her plate, and brings a napkin to her mouth, wipes it, places it back onto her lap, and then slowly looks at the three of you.
My lady, you eat with the finest manners of the greatest high elves I have ever observed. That is quite impressive.
She takes a slow, assessing breath. And then leans forward to the three of you and says, I hear you have interest in looking into the disappearance of two of my family.
That is quite the compliment I gave her, and she did not say thank you.
Yes. Yes, my lady. We have heard about your distressing situation, and if we may be of assistance, we are at your service.
She just kind of gives a well, if you're interested, you might as well know at least a little bit of the story. A nephew and a niece of mine, Taugen and Sharwin, they got excited from a story penned by some type of holy fighter of some type with a sword about the glory and treasures that we find in that citadel underneath the earth. They set out, about 2 weeks passed. Nobody's heard, seen, or anything of them since. Now, since they are family of mine, something must be done. It's been 2 weeks. I don't believe either of them are still alive. Otherwise, they would have returned or sent some type of notice. But I am willing to pay you enough to bring word back to me about them being alive or clear evidence that they are not.
We would be happy to do this. Might we inquire as to how much you are willing to pay for such a thing, so that we will know what we can afford to buy as far as supplies go before we leave. It sounds like a very dangerous adventure, and we would like to make sure we're properly equipped before we go. Not to be so crude as to talk about money, but we will have to buy provisions, of course.
No, this is a business endeavor, so there's no offense. If you can manage to bring either of them back alive and somewhat in one piece, I am willing to pay 250 gold pieces each. If you cannot accomplish that, then I am willing to pay 125 gold pieces each for their signet rings.
Can I tell what she meant there? Does she mean like for each of the two of them? Like if we collect both of them, it would be 500 gold pieces. If they're both stolen. Okay.
She leans forward and kind of crosses her, brings her fingers together. It kind of rests her chin on the fingers and just looks at you for a response.
I'll just look out of the corner of my eye to see if I can get like a half nod or anything from either of them.
Yeah, I kind of give him an approving look. I'm like, yeah.
I just shrug since I'm not in it for the money.
That is quite agreeable, my lady. Perhaps we could have a small advance on that amount in order to help us buy the provisions we will need to go on the endeavor.
She looks over to the manservant who's waiting patiently over to the side. He walks over and drops a small purse in front of you.
All right. I don't count it or anything. I just pocket it and thank her. Thank you, my lady. We will leave this before the morning dew has left the grass.
And clears her throat right before you guys walk out the door.
I believe she is asking for our attention once more.
Yeah. Turn back, my lady.
That advance is given with trust that you will do all that you're able to fulfill this. If I find news that you are not, I will spend triple the reward price for your heads.
Is she expressing that she might think we are dishonest?
No, she's saying that if we were dishonest, we would pay for it.
Oh.
I believe that is more than fair, my lady. We will endeavor to get back to you post haste, and if we die in the trying, then it has been spent. Our lives have been spent in service of a fine and noble lady and her family.
Very well. She nods over to her manservant, and if you need any further information or assistance, you can look at the Mansfield here. You can provide what you need.
Mansfield, nice. Thank you once again. I bow, which makes me about 18 inches tall when I bow.
She looks back onto her meal and continues eating.
I guess we'll follow Mansfield back out.
Yeah.
Mansfield. You manscaped at Mansfield? I don't actually say that, but this is funny. Here's my receipt, good sir.
Oh my gosh.
What'd you say?
My receipt. I made a receipt. Here you are.
You can step outside. What's that?
You didn't ask me to make one, but I made a persuade roll anyway. Dang it. I rolled good.
Persuade for who?
I don't know. I was persuading everybody in the room.
Everybody like me. Okay, we're good. He motions you all to step behind the entrance with the doors open.
All right.
And if you do so, he walks over to the old cabinet and again shows you his key rings.
I was gonna whisper to the dwarf to keep his foot in the door jam just in case he tries to slam it on us.
He slowly eventually opens the door up, and one at a time takes out each of the weapons that you give him. Excuse me, and brings them over to you.
All right.
And gives you a nod afterwards.
We'll be back as quickly as we can, Mansfield.
For your benefit, I hope you do so.
I pat him on the hopefully above his butt again.
He just kind of stands up a little bit straighter and awkwardly, not quite sure how to respond, and then quickly shovels past back into the door and closes them.
All right, when he closes the door, I sit down right where I'm at and rip open the bag to see how much gold or whatever is in it.
There's 50 gold.
50 gold, guys. Hey, we're splitting this 2 ways, or are we splitting it with the elf?
Well, depends on how useful the elf turns out to be.
The elf is standing right here.
Well, I know. I expected you to answer.
The elf is present.
I would require only, 10? I would take 10.
10 gold pieces? Okay, that's 20 for each of us. There you go. 20
All right.
10 for you, 20 for me.
Okay.
I require maybe a few supplies I will buy from the healer's hut to maintain my healing ability while we are on the road. After that, I will be ready to depart.
I just want some food.
I think I'm well stocked on rations. I might try to get a wineskin or a small cask of ale that I could take with me. And does the healer have any healing potions for sale?
You going over to the healer?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me take a look. I can't remember how much those actually are. I think they're 50 gold pieces, aren't they? Sorry, I'm absent one thumb right now. I have to look through the book.
I'm not sure. Just a second.
I don't think are they in the player's handbook?
Oh, so.
Yeah. It's 50.
It's 50? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how much it costs.
Okay. Well, I don't have enough for that.
Yeah, that's expensive.
All right. So I'll make my way back to the inn and see if I can't just get a small cask of ale to take with me instead.
That's probably better for you anyway.
Yeah.
He tells you it'll be 8 gold pieces. No, sorry, not 8 gold. Sorry. 8 silver pieces.
I don't see it on my sheet, but I definitely
That's
buy.
a small cast. Do you want a big cast or a small cast?
Small cask. I have to tote it.
Okay, small cast is 8 silver.
Well, should we get a donkey to grab?
No.
I'll count it out.
I don't see it on my sheet, so I definitely buy just a standard adventurer's pack.
Do you still not have gold?
No, I gave myself the gold. It's gonna get my just a standard adventurer's pack.
Okay, let me look and see how much that is again.
Do we need to buy a mule?
That'd be advisable. Can we call him Bill?
I have no desire to mess with any animals.
That's why the dwarf's there. He's supposed to pack everything, right?
Okay, yeah.
I've heard about dwarves. Never mind.
Okay, let's see. The standard adventurers pack.
There's the priest's pack for 19 gold. That's got a backpack, a blanket, candles, incense, rations, crap like that, water skin.
It's pretty much on my money, so I don't know about that.
Well, I think you should have started with the priest's pack. You should have already had that.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably had that out of your starting.
I just didn't write that down.
All right, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, a explorer's pack is 10 gold.
I'll just have the standard priest pack if that's what I was supposed to start off with. That's fine.
Okay, that's 19 gold.
Right, but I don't think I'm supposed to pay it.
Yeah, it's supposed to come with your background.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if they come equipped, then fine.
All right. All right. Yeah, I get a burglar's pack.
A burglar's pack.
Yeah.
I love that they actually call it a burglar's pack.
Yeah.
It has 1,000 ball bearings.
Yeah, as a cleric, you get either a priest pack or an explorer's pack.
Yeah, I'll take the priest pack.
Burglar's pack, 10 feet of string with a bell.
Yeah. So you can set it up. Yeah. Yeah.
I still love the 1,000 ball bearings. That's just ample fun right there.
Seems like a lot.
You never know.
No, you never do.
All right.
All right, guys. So, do y'all want to continue from here, or do you want to?
I think this is probably a good stopping point.
Okay.
Can we stop with us striking dramatic poses at the edge of town with our gear?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Heroic poses.
Ta-da!
Onward.
I want the halfling to play something inspiring while Branch and I do Power Ranger poses.
Okay. Done.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is it okay if I buy a donkey to carry all my crap?
You want to buy a donkey?
Name him
Yeah.
Bill.
It says it's only 8 gold pieces if they have one.
I'm pretty sure you can find a donkey in this town, so sure.
Okay, I'm gonna call him Donkey.
Donkey. I will allow a donkey purchase. No triceratops, but a donkey.
Yeah, just a donkey.
That's reasonable.
I am gonna try to find some way to enchant him so he can talk to us, though.
That's also reasonable. I'll allow it.
I'm glad Matt can give permission.
I'll spend all
Takes
of my
less
time.
responsibility from me.
I could probably just cast Speak with Animals, right? Then I could talk to him at least.
Yeah.
Sure, if you really want to see what the donkey thinks.
Well, yeah, that's a first level spell for me. All right, I gotta learn that.
He's pretty much going to tell you the preference of hay and who brushes him. So,
Yeah, that's fair. I'll buy him some hay, I guess.
That's pretty fun.
all right, guys. So,
I hear him.
I've had you all muted because my wife came in the room and she wanted me to relay a message to you, Brandon. It goes like this. What's up, bro?
She just bit my lip.
what's happening, comrade?
He said, "What's happening, comrade?"
I know, comrade.
She's torturing the cat right now.
Of course.
And their items, you can put how much they weigh. So for the donkey, I put minus 100 because I figure he's carrying 100 pounds of my crap. I'm only carrying 5 pounds of stuff now. That's awesome. All right, folks.
Yo, have a good night.
Hope everybody listening enjoyed that thoroughly.
Woo!
Especially the Scots-Irish torturing accent I try to provide.
Is that what that was? I thought it was Russian.
At the end, it was Russian. The comrade was Russian, but the rest was.
Well, as a person who's 41% Irish, I was not offended. So.
Okay. I was drinking Irish whiskey tonight, so I was trying to make it authentic.
Oh yeah. So that was legit then.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
And I'm making sure that there was going to be authentic Irish moonshine for the gaming weekend in February, just because Matt really, really wanted it.
Nice.
Unless John has some more to provide, unless he's drank it all.
Dude, that junk's gone.
John probably gonna have all kinds of different things to bring, but he'll leave them on his desk in his office.
Oh yeah, don't do that again.
It really pained me to have to take care of that after I got home.
Mm.
I bet it did. All right, well, I guess we should go so that Brandon can go to the ER and get his thumb reattached.
Yep.
Yes.
Look at that thumb.
Yes, it is Gorilla Tape and gauze.
That is dedication to his craft right there.
I was not going to stop this game for the benefit of my thumb, so I'm just letting you know that's a dedication I offer you guys.
That's right. We like an injured thumb better than Jesse.
Nice.
All right, give us a big thumbs up before we leave, Brandon.
What's that?
Give us a big thumbs up before we leave.